talk a lot about preventing problem behaviors, but rarely talk about what you should do if you get problem behaviors. Today, we are talking all about what to do when a child actually throws or hits and how to get these major problem behaviors at or near zero. Welcome back to another video. I'm Dr. Mary Barbera, autism mom, behavior analyst, and best-selling author. Each week, I provide you with at least one video about turning things around. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can do that now. So today I am sharing a small excerpt from podcast number 185, where we are talking about what to do when you actually get problem behaviors, how to get out of it in the moment, how to be the Monday morning quarterback, and how to make a plan to get those problem behaviors to zero. When she brought him a few months ago, back to back, maybe a couple weeks apart, he had some throwing behavior, some hitting, a little bit of hitting. I mean, nothing extremely dangerous. And so we wanted to talk about that because Rachel was, even with her special education background, her background with Lucas, her background as a program director, she knows not to use bribes, not to use punishment. But it gets tricky when you're in the moment, when you have a child that's throwing or hitting. And I have always said, I've done lots of podcasts and video blogs on the fact that we need to spend 95% of our time preventing problem behavior. And I don't really get into what to do when we actually have problem behavior because it really varies. And I don't want to tell people to do something that's even more dangerous. Like if you do this, the child may escalate. It may get worse. But before our very eyes, Everett had some problem behaviors, and neither one of us reacted great to them. And by the point when Rachel left, she was almost in tears and asking me, like, what should I do? So while she was on her way home, I drafted an email and kind of was the Monday morning quarterback to help her solve this issue of throwing and hitting. And fast forward now, hitting and throwing is gone. It's zero. So let's back up.
Yep.
And describe what happened. It really, our second visit is really when we saw throwing a few times and a couple of hits. So in your, from your memory as a mom, what happened?
So, we wanted him to do what we wanted him to do, and he didn't want to. And, so he was getting up from the table. He was throwing materials from the table, like swiping them off. When I wanted him to then I was forcing him, like, pick it up, and not really using my great strategies in the moment. And, then he picked it up and then he threw it. And then when I was trying to help him pick it up again, I got close. He swatted at me. I'm sweating at this point. So then I'm like, if you're not going to be nice, then we have to leave. If you're not going to listen, we have to go home. We can't stay and play.
Those are threats. If
Yep.
You're not going to be nice, we have to leave. We're going to go home. You're not going to get the ice cream I promised. And you also use some bribes. Come on, we just have to do these couple things and then we're going to go for the ice cream. So whenever we're reminding kids of reinforcement in the moment as they're having problem behavior, that's a bribe. Mm-hmm. And that's going to lead to more problem behavior because we're pulling out good things. We're reminding them of reinforcement. So, and it's, I was no banner BCBA either, but I was like, I don't want to really interfere here. He's not a client. You were also trying to reason with him and trying to get down at his level and being very kind and being, no, thank you. We don't do that. Say you're sorry. Which I did a whole video blog on why I don't like I'm sorry, either in the moment or later, because it tends to put a lot of attention on problem behaviors. So, and when he was throwing things, it wasn't like harmful things necessarily. He
or
was,
at people or anything, but
yeah,
it's still throwing.
he threw like a little Play-Doh container. Okay, that's not bad. But then when Rachel had him pick it up, he took the Play-Doh container and he banged it on the wall. And, again, he's only 3. It didn't harm my wall, but I, of course, don't live in a palace either. Like a lot of people might have a problem with a, a child of any, and as that child would get older, um, the damage could be worse. And then when Rachel eventually took him to the car, she actually was carrying him. He had a train in one hand and a dinosaur in the other. And he ended up not even being upset. I don't know what he was doing, but all of a sudden he threw this metal train at Rachel's car. And at that point, Rachel's like, all done train, but she let him have the plastic dinosaur in his hand still, strapped him in the car seat. He's crying. The other thing you did,
I'm almost crying.
you're almost crying. You were also saying like he's tired. He got up last night, kind of quote unquote making excuses for him.
Absolutely.
And Rachel's like, as soon as this happened, and then I emailed and she got the situation under control, I said, we should have you on the show if you're comfortable, because this is life. This is what's happening for many, many people who are listening, whether you're a parent or professional. Once a child has problem behaviors, it's a no-win situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to look perfect. You're going to have to get out of that problem behavior one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to be kind. We want to be gentle, and we want to teach kids to not have problem behaviors. Like, that's stressful. I mean, Rachel's has a 3-year-old and a baby. If she takes them both out, it's a lot. It's a
Mm-hmm.
lot to handle. And if you have a 3-year-old that's not being compliant with holding mommy's hand, following along, if he's throwing things, the baby could get hurt, even if he's not throwing it at the baby. Lots of things can happen.
Yeah.
So
just talking through it too. Like, I've even, like, as I was trying to talk to him more, the behaviors were escalating, right? So first he just swipes the Play-Doh off the floor. Had I stopped then, like, we may not have seen throwing the Play-Doh, banging on the wall, like, but I kept going because I wanted to explain it to him and I wanted him to stop, and he's got language. So I'm talking more and feeling like I need to explain it to him, but really, like, I should have just cut it off, and we may not have seen so many other issues, which is what I've been doing now. Like, now that we've talked through this, it's been a lot easier moving forward.
I hope you enjoyed that short excerpt. If you did, I would love thumbs up, leave a comment, share it with somebody else who may benefit. And for more information about how you might be able to join our online toddler course, where you can help your child or clients do better, whether they have a diagnosis of autism or not, check out a free workshop at marybarbera.com/workshop. And I will see you right here next week.